All right, welcome back to another episode of the Pinaris Podcasts. I have with me today a very special guest. I have Mr. Aoyong Wang Heng. He is our Sports and Activities Director. Welcome, Mr. Wang.
Thank you.
So today, having our Sports and Activities Director, we're going to be talking about why you should be involved in after-school activities, after-school sports, and how does that help shape a student's life. You know, we've talked about the spiritual component, we've talked about the academics, but if we're trying to develop the whole student, it's very important to be involved in these after-school activities. And so before we do that, can you just share a little bit, Mr. Wang, what as a school have we been up to this year as far as activities and sports go?
Well, first of all, 2025-2026 academic year has been a very busy year for our sports and activities department. We start off the year with basketball competitions, track and field. Then we went to participate in an international soccer competition in El Salvador, Copa La Libertad, in the month of December. And the start of 2026, we sent a delegation of 15 students to participate in Harvard National Model United Nations Latin America Conference in Panama City. And as we move on towards the end of the academic year, we are having volleyball competitions now, and we will be participating in the Unitec sports competition, whereby we have teams in soccer, swimming, chess, and even volleyball. So for us, sports competition doesn't end. It's a year-round program whereby we want our students to discover and develop his or her potential. It can be in activities such as knowledge bowl, robotics, chess, or even music and art festival, or in sports like soccer, basketball, volleyball, and chess.
And track.
And track and field, yes.
So in short, what you're saying is we got a lot of things going on here at school this year. I know 2 international trips, and for the future, we're looking to keep doing those. But so we have all these events, but I think it's important for parents to know is why should you be involved in something? You know, a lot of times, well, my son or my daughter doesn't like sports or doesn't like soccer, and that's fine. We have other activities. But tell me just in a few words, why is it important to do something?
It is for your child to discover his or her potential, and also to highlight and uplift God's blessing in your child's life. Each child has been blessed with a skill set or even a talent that he or she might not know at this moment. By being in sports or in activities, he or she will get to discover God's given talent.
And I think something to go alongside that is sports and activities is kind of like a hidden curriculum. You know, other stuff you're learning, but you're not realizing that you're learning is you're learning responsibility, you're learning time management, you're learning discipline, because
Yes.
you have to commit, you have to dedicate time, but you still need to do your studies also. And so you're learning these life skills that help you as you get older, as you get into college, to the workforce. Time management. I know I need to set some time for this. I enjoy it, but then I also need to make sure I'm taking care of my academics as well. And so those are life skills that are not necessarily taught in a textbook. It's taught by living out and getting the experience and practicing it. At least on the sports side, what are some of the physical benefits for competing, participating in sports?
Well, the student will get to learn proper nutrition, how to take care of his or her body before and after competition, and also helps them in their recovery after competing in a competition. So they learn how to take care of their body, manage their time, manage their physical strength, and also improve on their weak points too. Things like this that you do not learn in the classroom, and also learn how to bounce back from difficulty or setbacks in competition. You lose a game, you analyze it. Why do we lose? Why do we concede that goal? And they move on and become a better player, a better person. Because sports essentially and activities essentially help you to develop your critical and analytical skills, which you will not get in the classroom. It's essentially a lifelong lesson outside the classroom, but teaching you and developing you to be a better human being, to be more aware, to be situational, more aware of the situation.
You answered some of my next questions. So I guess before I jump into that, I think another one of the physical benefits, and it goes into mental and social benefits as well, when you're outside doing something, you're not stuck on your phone looking at screens and doing stuff, but you get to enjoy being outdoors. And I think that is something that we should always encourage. Get off the phone, get off the tablet, and go do something. And doing something that brings a little bit of exercise, being
Yes.
outdoors, it's something that's great for that. Before I jump into the next one, and this is something I've seen over the years here, but what is a good age to start doing these sports?
The ideal age range will be 6 to 7 years old. But in Academia Los Pinares, we do have a program for everybody. We, like for example, during the summer holidays, we have a summer camp for preschool students, for K4 and K5 students. This is to enable them to have a taste of what they will get to experience when they reach first grade or second grade. This is a prelude for them to experience what it's like. And we have summer camp programs all the way to 11th grade. So this is to ensure everybody gets to experience what's like to be part of a sports program within the summer holidays.
And I think something to go along with that is it's very important at a young age to get active, to get outdoors, because it helps you develop more coordination. It's hard to play soccer, it's hard to run if you have two left feet. And so by starting at those younger ages, you are able to work on your coordination, work on your balance, and that plays a big part as you get older. And so the first part was, there are a lot of physical benefits, but you mentioned a little bit on the mental and emotional growth. It is good to compete, and it is good to lose.
Yes.
Sometimes, because how you respond from losing is also helping to define who you are. You don't just stay down, but you pick yourself back up. And so another reason for doing activities, for doing sports, is it helps you emotionally, because you don't win every game, but how you respond to it, how you have success, how you have failure, perseverance, how do you handle pressure. And these are things that it's important for students to learn.
Yes.
And it's good to learn while you're here and you have people who can work alongside you, instead of waiting to get into the real world. Because something I've always told students is, life doesn't treat you fairly.
Nope.
You're going to come across hardships, and it doesn't care about your feelings. And so these are opportunities as you're younger to learn from challenges, how to grow, how to get better with that. And so can you add a little bit more to that mental and emotional growth?
Well, yes. In our sports and activities program, the coaches will play a very important part in how to nurture the student athletes' mental and spiritual growth too. So here we are. We are in the middle of a volleyball season. You have a tough schedule. So how do you bounce back from the defeats? How do you react to being getting beat by another team? How do you react when you lose your starting position? So all this will come into a factor when the student athlete develops his or her potential, learn from their mistakes, and so have mental resilience. Like when the coach replace you with another player, what is your reaction? Are you going to sit down and cry about it, or are you going to look at ways on how to make you yourself a better player or a better contributor in the activities program?
And I know something we slowly this year have started moving to is trying to get sports psychologists to speak with our teams, to start working with us as part of that. As you know, your game preparation is not just going and playing the game, but it is how you eat and take care of your body.
Yes, I
Is your
agree.
body in condition? How are you doing in practice to get better as a team? But then mentally, what are you doing to be a good teammate, being a good leader, and those type of things? Speaking of being a good leader on the field in our different activities, um, what are some leadership opportunities students have by doing these activities?
Well, ALP students get to become leaders through sports and activities program by taking up more responsibility, leading the warm-up sessions, or even leading some of the training sessions, because this will allow the coach to focus on other aspects of the training program. So we like in volleyball, there are some students who lead the warm-up sessions and even drills because they have been through it all, and for the past 4 years they've been playing the game and they become expert in that, so they can take up some of the challenges. In robotics, we have two students who can assemble the robotic components. They know how to run those challenges, and the coaches allow them to take up that responsibility and to share their skills with other students.
And so through these sports and activities, you know, part of that character formation is all students are learning discipline. And we definitely teach here integrity.
Yes.
We will not cut corners with our stuff. We teach in the respect component as well. And so these are a lot of characteristics that is learned when you are in competitions, when you are in a place of accountability for that. And so I think it's great when you get a chance to be able to take feedback, you're given freedom to perform, it makes you a better person overall. Okay, so this is our sports and activities, and sometimes, and I've heard this, and I don't like the answer, but it sometimes happens is, I can't come to practice today because I need to study for a test, or my academics are going to suffer. We know this, but let's talk about it. Being involved in other activities, does it really impact your academics negatively?
It boils down to your personal time management. It's not a zero-sum game that, you know, when you're active in sports, your academics have to give way. No, student athletes needs to learn how to balance between time management, their workload, plus their training program too. He or she will need to learn how to take priority of what needs to be done, especially in the homework, in the coursework, and at the same time, learn to plan their workload and time way ahead of schedule. He or she will know that we have a game coming up. What should I do? I have a homework that's due the next day. So start making plans. Start working with your teachers and your classmates who are in the same group work to work out your share of workload before the game, and also learn how to do revision at night.
And I know from the years here coaching in different sports, some of the best students we've had were also some of the best athletes. They figured out how to do both of them together. They made practice a priority, which is why they got better. But then during the nighttime, they made their academics a priority. And so they found a great balance. And it is important because those are creating those skill sets for the workforce one day, being able to do a task, complete it, and then do the next task. But it is important for students to learn. You commit to your activities, you commit to your sports, you commit to your academics. And when you do both of those, it makes you a better student because you are working for something, and it makes you a better athlete or a better participant in the activities because you are working for it in both sides.
Yes, I must add that around 30% of our student athletes who are excelling in sports are also high honor students in school now. So once you discover the secret of balancing between sports and academics, you discover the road to success in life too.
Okay, so we got just a couple more segments, a couple more questions I want to ask. Um, these experiences of competing, doing these activities, um, what type of memories do those make for students?
Well, student athletes will always treasure their time either on the field or on the track because it gives them that feeling that they will not be able to replicate for the rest of their lives. A very good example. This year, our infantile boys soccer team managed to finish third place in the 2026 ABSH National Soccer Tournament. It was a highlight for most of these 12 and 13-year-old boys because they have not been able to experience that feeling of teamwork, camaraderie, plus the feeling of finishing among the top 4 teams across the nation among the bilingual schools. So these memories they will treasure for the rest of their lives, but at the same time will serve as a stepping stone for greater things to come for every member of the team because they know they have experienced it, they have tasted success, they know they need to work harder and smarter to replicate that feeling and of success.
And I think something that goes just a little bit beyond that is there's a sense of pride for when I wear the green uniform or gray uniform also. Like there's a
Yes.
sense of pride there. I remember my time in high school. I'll be honest, I don't really remember a certain lesson that I was like, wow, this did it. But I remember when we beat our city rivals for the city championship, I remember going to a sporting event and winning. Our team won at the last second. Those are the memories students treasure the most. And that's why we are moving to more activities, more opportunities, especially with these international trips and stuff, because we want to create those memories for the kids. And so it is important to get involved because some of the biggest memories at school don't take place in the classroom. They take place what's going on outside the classroom, but still within the school grounds, you know, hanging out time during free time, lunchtime, any of the events or sports that we do. And so to me, you know, I hope my daughter's involved in all type of after school activities because those are the treasures I remember most from my time at school.
Here at the ALP Sports and Activities Department, our role is to provide a platform for our student athletes to find their niche area and to develop their God-given talent, and at the same time experience what's like to wear ALP colors, wear ALP shirt in every sports and activities competition that they participate in. I can assure you, it's not going to be an easy journey for everybody. It's not going to be a smooth one, but once you master the skill of balancing between academics and sports and working hard to achieve your objective, you will treasure those moments. You will experience the feeling that no other students will get to experience because you chose to be in sports and activities at Academia Los Pinares.
So, and we got just a few more moments left. So we kind of talked about why it's important, some of the things we've been doing this year. What does the future look like? What do we have coming up for the following year that we're already working on? Just to give a little shout out. So for parents to understand, like summer camps, yes, it's a good starting or a stepping ground, but what can parents expect as we prepare for next year?
in the coming months and also for the next academic year, we are in the process of revamping our sports academies in the elementary school, where we want our soccer academy players to be more competitive. We have arranged a lot more friendly games and competitions for them to be part of. And for us, sports is not from August to April. It's all year round. When the academic year ends, you have summer camps for your child to be part of. At the same time, we do not neglect the activities part of the program. We intend to put more focus and attention on developing robotics as to be one of the key features of our activities program. We intend to participate in a robotics competition when the time comes, when we develop sufficient skill set, sufficient confidence among our students, so that we have a good pool of students to be part of the robotics program. You'll be amazed that this, what creativity and critical thinking skills can bring these students forward. For sports, we intend to continue to work on developing our sports academies in the elementary and high school level. We want to be competitive in soccer, basketball, volleyball, track and field, and chess. At the same time, I also offer opportunities for non-ABSX sports to be part of the program. Like for example, we'll be participating in swimming competition in Unitec, to give an avenue for our ALP students to represent Academia Los Pinares in the swimming pool.
So in short, what you're saying is we have a lot going on.
Yes, sir.
And we're still kind of new with the robotics, but we are moving forward to get a bigger program to get more students involved with that. And so if you see that that's something your son or daughter is interested in at the house, encourage them, motivate them, make them try it out here at the school to be a part of that. Another thing you can do, another challenge we have right now is we do have limited space for some of our sports programs and our after-school activity areas. We're going to provide a link in the video that you can, or a QR code, you know, if you want to help with our anniversary project, the expansion of our courts and conchas. This is another way to help grow the program here at school, is by creating more court space, more opportunities for our kids to practice and play. But ultimately, participating in extracurricular activities, whether it's sports or non-sports, it does give the kids challenges, critical thinking skills, make new friends, create lasting memories for them. And that's ultimately what we want to do. It's something that's beneficial for their mental health, physical health as well, their social health as well. So we encourage you parents, get involved, get your kids involved to help strengthen the school and the school spirit that comes from this. So as always, may the Lord keep you, may his face shine upon you. Thank you for this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.